Shri Ganesha Sharada Gurubhyo Namaha Ramaya Ramabhadraya Ramachandraya Vedhase Raghunathaya Nathaya Sitaya Pataye Namaha. Welcome to audience for this session on Ramayana to chapter 12 in Bala Kanda. In the previous part of the story, we have seen Dasharatha's decision to perform Ashwamedha Yagna in order to get a son who would be heir to the throne. And then his minister Sumantra advised him to bring Rishyashringa because one of the old prophecies says that only if a yagna is performed by Rishyashringa for Dasharatha, Dasharatha would going to get the son. And on learning about this, Dasharatha went personally along with all the people to the kingdom of Romapada, the Angarajya of Romapada, and because Rishyashringa was the son-in-law of Romapada, and along with the wife of Rishyashringa, both Rishyashringa and Shanta, they were brought to Ayodhya, and then Rishyashringa agreed to assist in the sacrifice. Time passed and the spring came again while the holy sage was at court of King Dasharatha. On the propitious day, the king decided to enter upon the sacrifice area. He approached Rishyasringa and bowing low offered salutations to him, inviting that godlike sage to assist in the yagna he was observing to preserve the dynasty. The sage agreed and requested the king to provide the necessary material for the sacrifice or the yagna and to let loose the horse. The sovereign commanded his minister Sumantra to summon with all speed the priests acquainted with the philosophy of the Veda and sent invitations to the sages Vamadeva, Jabali, Kashyapa, the high priest Vasistha, and other exalted and learned Brahmins. Sumantra, setting out in haste, approached the sages courteously and brought them to the king. The virtuous monarch, after paying respectful homage to them, addressed them humbly, speaking words full of candor and integrity. He said, O sages, despite my ardent desire to have a heir, I am without one. I have therefore decided to perform the horse sacrifice or the Ashwamedha Yagna in order to meet that end. I desire the sacrifice of the yagna to be observed according to the spiritual laws, and through the grace of sage Rishyashringa, I hope to attain my purpose. The sages advised the king to gather together the sacrificial articles and to release the horse. They said, Righteous is your desire to be blessed with a son, O king. You shall surely obtain 4 illustrious sons of limitless valor. Brahmin's words convinced the king that his would be granted to him, and he communicated his satisfaction to his ministers. He said, O counselors, bring together 4 high priests and set the horse at liberty under the protection of 400 warriors. Let a sacrificial pavilion be set up on the bank of the river Sarayu, and let appropriate protective rites be observed, lest obstructions arise. The king then ordained that during the period of sacrifice, neither priests nor other persons should be subject to any suffering whatsoever. He said, in such times, others have been imported by subhuman beings called as Brahmarakshasas, which has resulted in the annulment of the sacrifice or the yagna. You should therefore employ every means to bring the Yagna to a successful conclusion. Hearing the words of the king, the ministers, highly gratified, began to act according to his instructions. Then the Brahmins assured the king that the yajna would be accomplished without hindrance, and offering him obeisance returned to their homes. The Brahmins having departed, the king bade farewell to his ministers and entered his private apartments. Thus ended chapter 12 in the Bala Kanda of Ramayana, in which Dasharatha ordered his ministers and others to make all required arrangement for the Ashwamedha Yagna. Namaste Sharada Devi, Kashmira Puravasini, Twamaham Prarthaye Nityam, Vidya Danancha Dehime. Goodbye.